Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real World English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jake. How are you doing today, Emma?
Oh, I'm doing wonderfully, Jake. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. It's just been one of those perfect days, you know?
That sounds lovely. I actually had quite the surprising morning myself. I was walking to the studio and, would you believe it? I saw a dog riding a skateboard down the street.
You're kidding. A skateboarding dog? That's amazing.
I know, right? The look on my face must have been priceless. Speaking of which, that's actually a perfect lead-in to today's topic, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Today we're talking all about ways to express surprise in English. And not just any expressions, but authentic ones that native speakers use every day.
That's right. Whether it's seeing a skateboarding dog or hearing unexpected news, we all need ways to show our surprise. And English is full of these expressions.
Exactly. And what I love about this topic is how these expressions can really vary depending on the situation, the people involved, and how formal or casual you need to be.
You make a great point there. I think that's what makes English so rich and interesting to learn. There are so many nuances. So shall we dive in?
Let's do it. We've prepared some fun scenarios to help our listeners understand when and how to use different expressions of surprise.
But before we get into our examples, let's talk about why this matters. Being able to express surprise naturally makes your English sound more authentic and helps you connect better with native speakers.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the words you choose, but also your tone and facial expressions. English speakers tend to be quite expressive when showing surprise.
That's so true. Okay, so let's start with some informal expressions of surprise, the kind you might use with friends or in casual situations.
Perfect. Some common informal expressions include things like, no way, you're kidding, get out, seriously, for real, wow.
Don't forget, oh my gosh, and holy cow. Those are some of my favorites.
And there's always the classic, what? With that high-pitched intonation that goes way up at the end.
What? Exactly like that.
Now, on the more formal side, we have expressions like, my goodness, how extraordinary. I'm astonished. That's remarkable. What a surprise.
Indeed, and don't forget, I must say I'm quite taken aback, or, well, this is unexpected.
You know what would be helpful? Let's do some role-playing to show these expressions in context.
Great idea. Let's set up our first scenario. How about a job promotion?
Perfect. I'll start. So in this scenario, you just found out that your colleague got a surprise promotion.
Hey, Emma, guess what? I just got promoted to senior manager.
No way! That's amazing news! I had no idea you were even up for a promotion.
Thanks. It was completely unexpected. My boss called me into her office this morning, and I thought I was in trouble or something.
Oh my gosh, what did she say?
She told me my hard work on the Johnson project really impressed the executive team, and they wanted to reward me with this promotion.
So in this casual conversation between friends or colleagues, I used no way and oh my gosh, both very informal expressions that show genuine surprise and excitement.
Exactly. And now let's try the same scenario, but in a more formal setting, maybe with someone you don't know well or in a professional environment.
Excuse me, Mr. Thompson, I just heard about your promotion. Congratulations.
Why, thank you. I only just received the news myself this morning.
My goodness, how wonderful. This must be quite the pleasant surprise for you.
Indeed it is. I'm rather taken aback, to be honest. I wasn't expecting this development at all.
How extraordinary. Well, you certainly deserve it after all your contributions to the company.
Did you notice the difference? Emma used my goodness and how extraordinary, much more formal expressions of surprise that would be appropriate in professional settings.
Exactly. The words we choose can really change depending on who we're talking to. Now, let's move on to our second scenario, which will show even more expressions.
Great. For this one, let's imagine you just found out that your friend won the lottery.
Hey, Jake, I need to tell you something. I won $50,000 in the lottery yesterday.
Get out of here. Are you serious? Holy cow, that's incredible.
I know, I still can't believe it myself.
I'm absolutely blown away. What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, I'm thinking of taking a dream vacation and then saving the rest.
In that scenario, I used some very strong informal expressions of surprise. Get out of here and holy cow. These are definitely for casual, friendly conversations only.
That's right. And did you notice how Jake's voice went up really high? That's typical when English speakers show extreme surprise.
You know, I think it would be helpful to talk about cultural context too. The way people express surprise varies not just by formality, but also by regional differences.
That's such a good point. For example, British English speakers might say things like, blimey, or good heavens to express surprise, which you wouldn't hear as often from Americans.
And in American English, you might hear, you don't say, or well, I'll be darned, which might sound old-fashioned, but are still used, especially in some regions of the country.
Australians have their own expressions too, like stone the crows or fair dinkum when expressing surprise.
I've always loved those Australian expressions. They're so colorful.
Let's do our third role-playing scenario. This time, let's imagine running into an old friend you haven't seen in years.
Emma? Emma Wilson? Is that really you?
Jake? Oh my goodness, I don't believe my eyes. What on earth are you doing here?
I moved back to town last month. This is such an incredible coincidence.
Well, I never. After all these years, you look fantastic.
So do you. This is unbelievable. It must be, 10 years?
In this scenario, I used, oh my goodness, and I don't believe my eyes, expressions that show genuine astonishment at an unexpected encounter.
And I used this is such an incredible coincidence, which is a bit more descriptive way of expressing surprise.
I also used, well, I never, which is a slightly more old-fashioned but still commonly used expression of surprise.
Let's do one more scenario. This time, let's imagine hearing some shocking news.
Jake, did you hear about what happened at the old town hall? They discovered a time capsule from 1850 during the renovations.
You're pulling my leg. A time capsule from 1850? That's remarkable.
I'm serious. They found old letters, photographs, and even some gold coins.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. What a fascinating discovery. Do you know what they're going to do with the items?
They're planning to display everything in the local museum next month.
Here I used you're pulling my leg, which is a fun idiom that means you must be joking. And I also used flabbergasted, a more formal way to express complete surprise.
These are all great examples of how English speakers express different levels of surprise in different contexts.
You know, there's also body language that often accompanies these expressions. English speakers might put their hand over their mouth, raise their eyebrows, or even take a step back when they're truly surprised.
That's so true. The physical reaction often reinforces the verbal expression. You might hear someone gasp before saying, oh my goodness, or see their jaw drop before they say, I can't believe it.
I wonder, Emma, what's your go-to expression when you're genuinely surprised?
I probably say, wow, or no way, most often. What about you?
I'm definitely a you've gotta be kidding me kind of guy. I just can't help it.
I think it's also worth mentioning that sometimes surprise can be negative as well as positive.
That's a good point. For negative surprises, you might hear expressions like, oh no, that can't be right, or you must be mistaken.
And the tone definitely changes. Instead of that high, excited pitch, negative surprises often have a falling intonation like, oh no.
Exactly. That can't be right with that downward inflection.
Before we wrap up, I think it would be helpful to summarize all the expressions we've covered today.
Great idea. Let's group them by formality. For informal expressions of surprise, we have no way, you're kidding, get out, seriously, for real, wow, oh my gosh, holy cow, you've got to be kidding me, you're pulling my leg, what, with a high intonation.
And for more formal expressions of surprise, my goodness, how extraordinary. I'm astonished. That's remarkable. What a surprise. I'm quite taken aback. Well, this is unexpected. I don't believe my eyes. Well, I never. I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
And remember, the key to using these naturally is to match the expression to the situation and the people you're speaking with.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be expressive with your tone and body language, too. It's all part of communicating genuine surprise in English.
You know what might be fun for our listeners? If they could practice using these expressions in their daily lives and then let us know how it went.
That's a brilliant idea. We'd love to hear which expressions you tried using and how they worked out for you.
So, listeners, here's your homework. Try to use at least 3 expressions of surprise from today's episode in real conversations this week. Then let us know in the comments which ones you used and how people reacted.
Yes, we'd be absolutely thrilled to hear your experiences. You can leave a comment on our website at realworldenglish.com or on any of our social media channels.
Well, I think that wraps up our episode for today. Thank you so much for listening to Real World English.
We hope you found this useful and that you feel more confident expressing surprise in English now. Until next time.
Keep practicing your Real World English. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you next time.